Okay, for Pelters, well, I'm here in Yarra Glen, just outside of Melbourne. Sunday afternoon. I am excited again. This is like adventure bike heaven this year so far. So we're here at the launch of the new Tuareg 660. A group has just come back. Myself, Hal and Bob are here. So we're booked in on the next ride. So we'll be shortly jumping on our bikes and taking these for a bit of a test ride. So let's give you a bit of a look at that. So yeah, there's about a dozen Tuaregs here. These are all the launch bikes that they're going to be using here in Australia. So we'll put these bikes to the test, and hopefully, yeah, it'll be interesting to compare them to the T700 and the other bikes that I've ridden. Okay, Bob, which bike are you on, mate?
I think
that one?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Hang on a minute, Bob. Hang on. Back up.
The colour.
Wow. You got the flash one. Wow. I think I'm number 4. I got the mighty
on the Essendon special.
Mighty Bombers colours over there. And what's yours, Hal?
I'm number 6.
Number 6. Hey, have a look at that. Where's yours? Which one? Oh, hang on. Hal's got a fast blue one as well.
Yeah, and I'm running the Continentals, the TK80s.
TKC 80s. Yeah, they've all got those tyres on them. Yep, so that's, oh, hang on, that's number 70 and mine's over here, number 4. Yeah, you do realise the red ones do go faster.
They do say that, don't they?
Yeah. So are you excited, guys?
Yeah.
Pumped?
Yeah.
We've had so many new adventure bikes this year, haven't we?
Oh.
We have, and the guys have been really good explaining things as well. So when I throw my leg over for the first time, Pete, I'm going to wonder if I get excited or not.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Can you say it again? I've lost the pronunciation.
Tuareg. Tuareg?
Tuareg.
What do you say?
I don't know.
Most people say Tuareg.
Tuareg. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to get our thoughts at the end of the ride, won't it? Compared to the T700 and your Beamer and your Tiger and all the other bikes that we bloody ride.
Be very interesting, Pete.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the two bikes on the centre stand. So it gives you a bit of an idea of the difference in these bikes. Like the 10RA is definitely a little bit slimmer. Its front profile. But yeah, size wise, very, very similar. Okay, so the Aprilia Tuareg 660 specs. The engine is a 659cc parallel twin, 4 valves per cylinder. It's a liquid cooled electronic fuel injection with a 6-speed gearbox. Produces 80 horsepower. The Lambs or Learner approved version has 47 horsepower, and the torque is 70 newton meters of torque, and the Lambs approved is 61 newton meters of torque. It's got an 18 litre fuel tank. They claim that it gets about 4 litres per 100, which again will give you around about a 400 kilometre range. With the electronics you get ABS, traction control, engine mapping and engine brake control, and the rider modes are urban, explore, individual and off-road. The suspension is KYB front and rear. You've got 43mm upside down forks, fully adjustable with 240mm of travel. You know, the T700 has 210 at the front. The rear is a monoshock, fully adjustable, 240mm again on the rear. The T700 has 200mm. The wheels are spoked alloy tubeless tyres, 21-inch front, 18-inch rear, and they come standard with the Aprilia Scorpion Rally STRs. The brakes are Brembo. We've got the front disc rotors are 300mm, where the T700 is slightly smaller at 282mm. The front's got 4 piston calipers. The T700 just has dual calipers. On the rear we've got a single disc of 260mm single piston caliper, and the T700 has a 245mm. The claimed weight is 187 kilos dry, which bumps it up to 204 kilos wet, and the T700 is they claim 206 wet, so only 2 kilo difference in weight. The ground clearance is 240mm, which is the same as the T700, and the servicing, the first service is at 1000 k's and then intervals of 10,000 k after that, and every 20,000 k they're saying plugs and valve clearances, with a 2-year warranty, unlimited kilometres. And the price is $22,230 right away, and that's for the Martian red and acid gold colours, the red and black and the yellow and black colours, and the Indaco Tagelmust, I think that's how you pronounce it, is another $300 dearer for that colour, the blue, red and white colour, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, the T700 is $19,500, so there's $3,000 difference there between the bikes. So yeah, pretty good specs. Okay, just giving you a look at the pannier setup here on the rear of the Tuareg. It's just bolted there on the rear peg. And you see some locks there. It's all fairly strong, lightweight stuff. And this bike's got an optional centre stand fitted to it as well, and it's got crash bars just on the side here. Where are they? Oh yep, there's a cross member joining both sides. So yeah, this little guard here could take a few hits as well. But overall, it's pretty good. Notice it's similar to the T700. You got the oil filter up the front there, so yeah, you really want some better protection for that. The seat on this, bloody beautiful. Very skinny up the front here, and then nice and wide up here where your butt can sit. So that's going to be comfy, I reckon. Very, very good.
Turn it on and off anytime, and if you turn the bike off and turn the bike on again, it'll remember the mode that you're in, and remember if you've turned it on and off. So there's no toggling through menus and all that sort of stuff.
So if you switch it off totally, how do you bring it back on again?
Traction control,
yeah.
You just bring it on and it would be off like that, and you just go plus.
Oh, and
that's all it
back
is.
Up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. And if you were in a different menu, for example, like if you're in your trip meter and you touch the traction control button, it'll automatically bring up ATC on the menu. Okay. So you can get, like if I do it now, see it goes straight to ATC there. It's very user friendly. So that's pretty straightforward. If with your modes, you can see your mode button here. You can configure the individual mode. In off-road, it's defaulted that rear ABS is off. So front ABS is set for an off-road parameter, rear ABS is off. Obviously your 4 levels of traction control in there. To change your modes, you've just got your mode button here. Again, you don't have to be stationary, you don't have to pull the clutch in, there's no anything, you just select the mode that you want and it'll change it for you. So that's pretty straightforward. A couple of things, given that you guys ride Teneres, I feel like I should explain a couple of bits and pieces. The tubeless rims. So we've got tubeless tyres, tubeless wheels, front and rear. There's 240 mils of travel front and rear. You guys have got 200 mil of travel. And one thing that we think is a good benefit is that they're fully adjustable compression and rebound, front and rear from standard. So you'll notice that on the left hand side of the motorcycle there's a preload adjuster here. So it's very, very easy to go, okay, I'm going to put 2 clicks of preload because you've got a pillion on the back or some luggage or whatever that may be. So that's good. Optional is a quick shifter and heated grips, as well as like this bike here in terms of options. We've dressed it up. It's probably more a road touring bike at the moment, the way it's set up. But you've got the factory crash bars, the factory touring screen, the luggage grid and rack, as well as the panniers here. So you've got all that stuff. The battery standard is lithium, which is cool feature, and it's a tiny little battery. It's worth having a quick look at. So you'll see here, there's the battery, lithium there. The objectives of the bike is to get the fuel tank, the fuel load as low as possible. So this is an all fuel tank through there. If you actually have a look, the fuel's sitting quite low, slung in the frame. And you'll notice that that's the fuel pump there. So easy access to the fuel pump, and the pickup's very... the other thing that's really important to know, especially if you're doing a bit of adventure riding, the access to the airbox is always a contentious issue for adventure riders. If you're like me and like to keep a clean air filter, I don't wait for services. If I've been riding and it's dusty, I'll clean it. So there's 4 fasteners here, right? That pops off. That then gives you access to the top of the airbox. Another 4 fasteners, I think it's 4, isn't it, John? And you can pop the top of the airbox off, and it's a paper filter. So we're working with a unifilter on a foam filter. Yeah, apart from that, your foot pegs down here, you'll just see the centers pop out of the foot pegs there, so that gives you a pretty chunky foot peg to standard. And over here, pedal, it actually, those 2 fasteners come out and it flips the other way. So the high position, if you want to use it, is you just flip that. I've forgotten anything? I think that's pretty much it, isn't it, John? Cool. I think it's a good amount of information for you guys. There's a USB charging socket here. You'll notice it's the wider bars than what's standard on a Tenere. The cockpit is slightly further away from you. You know, you'll find that the ergos are a little bit different.
Alrighty, just turning it on here. You see the screen's in urban mode. It's in... is it in neutral? Oh, there's neutral. I'll just start this baby up. I'll just give her a listen to that. Cool. Alrighty, here we go. I'll throw the leg over for the first time. Wow, gee, straight up, the handlebars feel higher than the T700, so like, or you feel like you're sitting lower. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so straight up it feels very light. We're just standing up on the pegs at the moment, and yeah, it's very comfortable. Very comfortable. Gee whiz. And you can, just by stomping on the foot pegs, man, you can flick it. The shape of the seat reminds me of the Sergeant seat that I've got fitted onto the DR650, where it's really skinny and narrow at the front, and then it tapers out nice and wide at the back. And this is pretty much a similar sort of shape. So yeah, that's great, and that's really helps you to touching the ground as well, having a fairly thin seat at the front. And the other good thing with this too is the seat sort of comes a fair way up to the, the fuel tank here, so you can get right up on the tank if you want to, when you're riding this bike. Having no problem viewing the screen at the moment. It's a little bit overcast now, just light overcast, but the screen is crystal clear. Let's do this cruise control. So hold across there, oh yeah, and then push it forward. I can get the cruise controls on, working beautifully. The mirrors are good, mirrors are excellent. Great visibility out there at the back. Virtually no vibration at all through those. It's great how it's colour coded too with each mode. So in the Explore mode it's green. It's got a different colour for each mode, so that's great as well. Helps you differentiate between each mode. Alright, we're all on off-road mode now, guys. Off-road mode now.
Yeah.
Perfect. To be bogging down a bit, really. I'm not sure whether yeah, it's certainly keeping you safe, really, because you're giving it to it and it's certainly cutting the fuel, or controlling. So if I go down, hold on, I go back. Traction control. Oh yeah, and then we go down to 2, down to 1. Oh Jesus! Wasn't expecting that. Bloody cars coming too. Certainly got some bite, there's no doubt about that, so very similar to the T700. Does seem to have a little bit more torque down low. Great road to test these things on, just to have a bit of a play, nothing difficult. Suspension's working really well. I'm very impressed with that. Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable on this bike than the T700 actually. It just feels lighter. Certainly have to do with the, what to do with the fuel tank and the shape of the fuel tank, which drops right down below your crutch, which keeps it gives it real flickability.
I'm not really sure what to say about this bike. It's just, it's a bloody good bike, really. Very T700 like, but gee, in a lot of ways it's better. Certainly feel a little bit more comfortable on it. Feels easier to handle and ride off-road, there's no doubt about that. So for a bike that basically weighs the same as the T700, yeah, it feels a lot lighter. The brakes feel good. Yeah, actually the brakes are really good. Certainly a fun bike to ride. I'm loving it. Bloody cracker of a bike. So yeah, excellent. Loving it.
So we're just going to do traction and ABS demonstration for you guys. Just going to use this area to demonstrate that. I'm going to do a little bit of riding, and Nigel's going to talk you through the different ABS modes and different traction control modes that we're going to have on.
Yep.
And show you how in different situations how beneficial that can actually be. And the main differences, because it's hard when you're riding and you're not seeing it, the differences between urban mode, off-road mode, and then completely off.
Yep. Okay.
So I heard what you said. I think you summed it up pretty well. You know, I think the bare minimum now for bikes that are above 125cc really is to have ABS, but the difference is in the situational context. So on the road, in the dirt, different grip levels. So what we're going to do first is Lukey's going to demonstrate what it looks like with ABS completely off. And every time he's going to be at the same speed, and from the yellow markers there, he's going to then brake, so you guys get a bit of a visual reference of how that's working. So first time is ABS off, front and rear. Second time is going to be in urban mode, which is a road-based mode, so that you can see. And then we're going to use off-road mode, which is just front ABS, and Lukey will not touch the rear. So guys, you can see from that how deep he is in the stroke of that front fork. He's pretty hard on the front brake. Have you got anything left in the tank there on the front?
If I did, I would be leaving no margin for error at all.
Yeah. What happens when you brake on the front? What happens to the weight in the rear?
It comes off.
It goes light. What happens? You skid. So a lot of crashes actually happen because people do those rear wheel skids, and all of a sudden you're out of control and you can't maintain it.
Sorry, what mode was on then?
That was with ABS and traction control off completely.
off.
Yep.
Everything off. So just me and the bike.
Yeah. Let's see what urban mode is.
It's on.
So ABS and traction control.
On. Yeah, that's
Pretty
better.
close.
That's a little bit better.
So I think you did a little bit better.
Yep.
But what I would say is that it's probably much more in control. You know, it's much neater.
100%.
And you see that you can see it lock up, but the intervention is obviously set for a road bias.
I'm not going to use the rear brake in this one. I'm only going to use the front.
Oh, you'll be that freaked out.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so... So it's about half the distance with the off-road setting. And so there's many bikes on the market that don't have rider modes. And when you have a rider mode that's appropriate for ABS traction control and your throttle, so your throttle mapping, this is a perfect example of how that works in real life. You don't often get to see it like that. It looks good on a table on a website, but that's a real life example. If you're in off-road, you're riding off-road and you have that setting on, and you need an emergency braking situation, you're going to stop half the distance as a road going bias and half of what you would if you had it off completely. Now we get to move on to the fun part, which is traction control. So I'm going to ask Lukey to use 100% throttle, and I want you guys to watch his right hand. Watch how much throttle he's using. He's going to be full goon whiskey throttle. And what I ask him to do is turn the bike, try and get it to slide and see what happens. And so we're going to use urban mode with the setting on 2.
Okay. Yeah.
You see his right hand?
Yeah.
Right hand.
Just cutting the fuel.
That's doing a pretty good job of, you know, minimising some really poor rider inputs there.
Yeah.
That's terrible rider input.
Yeah. Now, I'm interested to see what does it look like if you go, so there's a road mode, right? Now we're going to move to off-road mode. What do you want to do? Off-road in 2 and you'll do the same thing, full hand fist, or do you think 3?
We'll go 2.
Okay, let's try 2. So now we're moving from road mode to off-road.
Roger.
There's definitely a bit more slip there, isn't there? Okay,
Yeah.
fair bit more. Watch his right hand, 100% throttle. It's definitely not giving him 100%, is it?
No.
Yep. So that's 2. Let's try 1. You reckon he'll get a good slide on in 1, or you think it'll be that much intervention?
Yeah, you'll get a good slide.
Let's see how we go.
But it's still controlling it, though. Yeah. It's still
I reckon he can get a pretty good slide on. Now, you can see visual representation, urban mode, higher level of traction control, off-road with that ATC dialed up. Now you're looking at the minimal level of traction control off-road this bike has. What I'm interested in, if you go 100% throttle and don't make it so progressive, what happens then?
So that's when it will intervene.
Yep.
Which is one thing that I absolutely love about this bike. So I don't know if I mentioned to a couple of you guys early on, in traction control 1 settings, normal rider input, healthy rider input, not goon riding like I was doing before, the bike will let you play, it'll let you slide, you'll think it's not on. But in a difficult situation or in an unnatural rider input situation, it will help you.
ABS still on the front here. ABS is still on here, guys. Well done, mate.
The brake is adjustable, yeah. Clutch is not, but the clutch is nice and light. Better put the visor down. I don't want to get a face full of rocks.
it's a great bike, great bike. So yeah, look, they're just doing the hard sell on the electronics and how they keep you safe, and there's no doubt about that they do, definitely do. Don't get me wrong, like I keep saying, I do like the T700, but man, this is this is a bloody great contender. Great fun bike to ride, feels light, you feel comfortable on it, you feel in control of it. So they're all the pluses I can think about with this bike. The suspension's just beautiful, there's no doubt about that. So for the extra money you're paying for this bike, you're certainly getting it. Getting what you paid for. And it's got all the power you need. It's not going to rip your bloody arms off. And it's just sweet motor in this thing. There's no doubt about that. So I would encourage anyone to take this bike for a test ride if you can get your hands on it. You'll be surprised. Okay, full pelters, where are we? We're at the Sugarloaf Reservoir, aren't we? And here we're just going to do a little bit of a talk about the Tuareg and what our thoughts are. So yeah, it was a bloody good bike as far as I'm concerned. All right, guys, what are your thoughts? Hal, Bob?
Well, I was going to compare the Tuareg with the Tenere 700.
Yep.
Because I thought they looked similar. Some of the stats look similar, but they're not. They're totally different. So different in rides. But the Tuareg, I was very impressed with. It was comfortable. The standing position, loved the standing position.
Yep.
Loved the way you could vary the different riding modes and the traction control and all of that sort of stuff. So simple and easy.
On the fly,
and it was really good on the dirt. Really enjoyed it. Nice bike.
Yeah, because like to look at them, comparing it to the T700, they look very similar, but to ride it, it's a completely different experience, isn't it? I reckon.
It is. It's like they talk about the tank holding its fuel lower, so I think that has a lot to do with it.
You feel it straight away.
The handlebars are wider, which you sort of didn't realise how wide they were until I got back on the Tenere.
Yep.
And then you look at the dash on it, and the Tenere looks congested and a lot more in it, except the Tuareg's just got this little TFT screen, does everything.
Yep.
So yeah, cruise control. The guys were brilliant. You know, we got there plenty of time before the event and had time to talk to them, and they explained it over. Well, in fact, heard the same story a couple of times.
Yep.
But to take us out into the fire trails, if you like, and stop and show us how traction control and anti-lock braking system works on the bike with the skilled rider that they had was just an eye-opener. It was just awesome.
But I found that it just seemed so much lighter than the T700 to ride, you know?
Yeah, and I think the weights are similar. Standard bikes.
Yeah.
They're very similar in weight, but you wouldn't pick it with that.
Did you find it narrower than the T7?
Yeah, I liked the seating position.
Yeah,
I really did. It was narrower at the front, and I liked the way that it goes up on the back of the tank.
Yep.
And you know, as he said, you don't really have to stand up going around dirt corners or anything like that. But even when you stand up, you're
Felt
right
great.
on the front
Yeah.
of the bike. It's excellent.
And you can hold it between your legs really easily. I love the induction sound.
Oh, that
yep.
was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, coming, and when they take the paper air cleaners out and put the unifilter foam, twin foam,
Yeah.
that induction's just going to sound so, raunchy.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's got that throaty sound,
Yeah.
hasn't it? It's really nice.
But if it was a Japanese branded bike,
Oh, it sounds like hotcakes.
it would, wouldn't it? It really would.
Yes.
People would be all over. You know, I was even thinking from a learner point of view, what a great learner adventure bike just to step on, because it'll be detuned
Yep.
and not, you know, and it doesn't feel like a heavy bike, handles beautifully, got all the modes to keep you safe. So even as a starter
Well,
adventure bike.
Lens approved. isn't
Yeah,
it, as a
yeah.
learner bike.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Now, in the right hands, as we saw with
Yeah.
Luke,
Yeah.
it's no learner bike. You know, like it can be.
No, that's
it can
right.
do anything. I tell you, their styles are so good.
Yeah.
They just know how to do things.
They do.
It just looks really finished off well.
Yep, nice bike.
Yeah, and you walk past it, and you got to watch it because it pinches you on the bum.
All right, well, it's looking pretty bleak out there, guys,
Yeah,
so we
we've
better
got-
wrap it up. But, yep, 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
9 out
nine-
of 10.
yeah,
9
Yeah,
out of 10.
it's a winner. Okay, full pelters. Catch you on the next episode.